Okay, just a quick rundown again on how to do the doors. So I'm going to do all three again just to give you the basics. I'm just going to delete these three quickly. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so you're going to select your folder that you want to create the door in. I'm going to go ahead and say new. I'm going to give it a name. So I'm just going to name this one slab training. Then I can go and select the three different types that I have, a slab, a multi-piece, or a template. So I'm going to make this one a tab. Tags you can add if you want to use it for UCSs or such, and notes if you want to add a specific note to the door. Then design for door. Remember, if you put it on a drawer front, it only creates the design for a drawer front, not for a door. But if you select door, it creates it for both. I'm going to go ahead and say next. For the root path on the style on the slab door, you can select a few options, but we never use these as we do this rather with a template door, which handles the machining side better. So for slab doors, we just leave it on none and leave it as a solid slab wooden door. Just going to say finish then. Then I can go back into the door and I have a few extra options now. So I can go and change the name, the description, I can add the tag, a unit cost or cost per square meter if I don't want to use the material price. Edge banding, I can go and say left, right, top, or bottom. Does it get door edge banding, veneering, or none on all four edges? Edge profiles, I can go and specify does it get an outside edge which assigns edging to it or a finger pull. And then defaults is where I can go and set my default material schedule that I want to use on the door. And then outside profiles, edge profile, banner profile, pull profile, and path profile we only use on the template and multi-piece doors, as the slab doors are just standard wooden slab doors. Then if I want to go and filter out the materials for this door that I want to be able to use on this door, like we did on trading, I can go here to material filter, select the material that I want to filter out, pass it over to the right, say close, yes, and then under material schedules, I'll only have that one available. Right, so you can go and filter out multiple materials that you want to be able to use on this specific door. Okay, okay, save changes, yes. So that's for a slab door. Then, if I want to create a template door, I'm going to go ahead and say new. Oh, sorry, multi-piece. I'm going to say multi-piece training. Just make the description the same. I'm going to select multi-piece. Tags, notes is the same. Design on the door and door front is the same. So I'm just going to select the door. I'm going to say next. Then here by type, I have a few options. I can go and say, is it a raised panel, a flat panel on the inside, a glass panel, horizontal slat panel, a vertical slat panel, or just a slat. So you can go and select which one works the best for you, what you want to do with a specific door, but I'm just going to say glass door for now. Panel inset is the groove that it cuts into the slats on the sides. Just to give you an example, I'm going to set that to 30. Then it shows you it cuts in 30 on the side into the slats here for that piece to fit in, and the width of that cut would be the same width as your. I'm going to leave that on 5. Then left style, right style, top rail, bottom rail is the width of my styles. So if I change that to 75, you'll see it changes. All right, and then you can set it to mitre, yes or no. I'm going to say finish. Then this is all still the same. You can change the name, description, tag, unit cost, cost per square meter, and you can oversize it. So you can make this a little bit bigger. Then on edge banding again, you can go and say door edge banding or veneering. Now remember, multi-piece doors automatically do not get edge banding assigned. No matter what you do, it will not assign edge banding to it. So you won't be, so this in any way won't have an effect. Edge profiles, you can also still won't be able to add a finger pull. Then on defaults, material schedules, you can use the material filter to output specific material schedules for this door. Outside edge profile, we can then assign an outside edge profile to it. An inside edge profile is for the inside edges on this. A raised panel profile is if we select the raised panel type that adds the groove on the edges of the raised panel. Finger pull profile is if we use a finger pull, and then root path profile will only be using on template doors. All right, so that's for the multi-piece door. It's fairly simple, and there is a few options that you can do between them. Let's say okay. I'm going to say yes. Then I'm going to go and create the last type, which is a template door. So I'm just going to say here quickly, training template. I'm going to select template. Now, template has a bunch of options that you can choose on what design you want on it. I'm just going to select a square for now. I'll show you some of the others now when we create the door. Tags, notes, same thing. Design, same thing. Just going to leave it on door. Say next. Now here, under template, we can take the slab out, turning it into a hollow multi-piece door. Or I can say yes, want to keep the slab, normal slab, template door. Soften corners adds a corner radius on my door for me, according to the radius that you give it here. Shape bottom and top is regarding that if you have an arch here, it cuts out the door around the arch as well. And then lights is to split your shaker into multiple pieces. And then spacing again, just to change your rails and your styles. So I'm just going to change it to 75, 75, 75, 75. And then mid-style and mid-rail will only be active if you say 2 vertical when there's 2 vertical or more than 2 horizontal. But if there's only one, you won't be able to modify that. I'm going to say finish, training template. I have a few options now here again as well. You can change the name, description, tags, unit, cost per square meter. And I can go and select my template style. I can modify again. I can go and select what template I want. You see there is a few options that you guys can choose between. Now just remember, according to the template that you choose, will modify the options that you have at the bottom to change it. For instance, on my square, I don't really have a lot, but if I go and say equal cathedral, you'll see their shape. I can go and modify the shape. All right, so I'm just going to keep it on square for now. Slab, yes, I can modify that again. I can switch my soften corners on or off, and I can switch my shape bottom and top and my lights as well. Spacing is just my style width and my rail heights, rail widths. And then again, edge banding. Very important on your template doors. Switch your door edge banding off, as it will not get edge banding, as it is a wrap door that gets a laminate wrapped around it. So as soon as you switch the edge banding on, it's going to add edge banding on top of the wrap. Edge profiles, we'll never really use this on a template door, but you can go and add finger pulls if you want to. Otherwise, leave it as outside edge. Defaults, your material schedule works exactly the same. You can go to filter out materials that you need to use just on this door specific. Outside edge profile you can assign, inside edge profile you can assign, raised panel profile you can assign, finger pull profile you can assign, and root path profile assign. Just remember, this is not a physical cut that it's showing on the door. It's just the line pathway that it shows for where the root path profile is going to show. So if you do not add a root path profile, that will cut nothing. All right. And the outside edge profiles and such you guys can create with the profile manager like I showed you. And then Etienne can create it with the tools that I'll still cover with him once he gets to that section. But that is it for now. That's how you create your 3 different door types and how to go and modify them.